What's up, guys, and welcome back to Ghost Ride. So, last week we left off discovering that our oil pump had screws loose in the backing plate, which was causing our oil pressure to be low. So I have incredibly good news, but I also have incredibly detrimental news. What do you want first? Good news? All right, thought so. So the good news is our Subaru is now running perfectly. The oil pressure issue is solved, and it has not run this good since we've owned it. The bad news is we have a disco party going on in our oil system. Yeah, so that's kind of a kick in the gut. We have metal fragments or glitter in our oil. So it appears we did not catch the oiling issue soon enough, and there has been damage done. So basically what happens when something like that happens, when an engine is starved of oil, it can eat away at the bearing material, causing these flakes of metal to circulate through the oil system, which kind of causes a cascading effect of damage to the engine. The fragments get reabsorbed into the oiling system, get pushed through all the bearings, and it acts as sandpaper, wearing out the bearings incredibly fast. Usually, I would say that is the death of an engine. There's really no coming back from that. But I decided, what the heck? Let's see if we can do an experimental procedure to flush this engine out, get all that glitter out of there, and save it before it rog knocks. You in? All right, thought so. Let's get to it. First things first, let's drop the oil in and see what we're dealing with. Here's the oil we just pulled out. Actually doesn't look too bad. While we look at it like this. But let's get it poured out, and I bet there'll be some stuff at the bottom. Now remember, this is the oil we just put in. This oil only has about 100 miles on it. It has Lucas oil additive, and also it has some seafoam, which we were using to clear out the sludge. So looks like the seafoam pretty much did its job. I mean, it's pretty filthy for oil that only has 100 miles on it. But let's see what it looks like when we get to the bottom of the pan. It's not terrible, but it is definitely there. So maybe we can catch this in time. Alright guys, so I decided to take the Subaru to run some errands and also pick something up for the Subaru. And since I'm taking this, I'm gonna document it in case it blows up. Alright, we're on the highway. So far so good. All right, so I'm here to pick up the rims, and something completely random has happened. These fine gentlemen that own the shop that the rims are at actually had gone to look at the Subaru that I bought and had ultimately decided not to buy it. But they're basically Subaru experts, and he's telling us all the wonderful things about this engine. So what kind of stuff do you guys do here at the shop?
Here, basically, mostly American performance stuff. 60s, 70s, 80s cars, some modern muscle car stuff, and Subarus.
Awesome. Yeah,
and Japanese stuff.
They have a ton of
some
Subarus.
German stuff. I do a little bit of everything here. A little bit of everything.
You guys take so just general maintenance and repair?
I do maintenance, corrections, vehicles that have been messed with otherwhere and they didn't repair them correctly.
And what was the name of your shop again?
Fontana Motorsports.
Fontana Motorsports?
Fontana Motorsports, yeah.
You guys can check them out. But they were actually looking at the Subaru that we bought and were considering buying it. And he was showing me the text messages and everything. Right when I pulled up, they're like, "Oh, you bought that? That's crazy." And this is Simi Valley. This isn't even Ventura. So the odds of us running into
and my friend who was actually out there looking at lives in Tarzana. So he's not even close. So
that's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. And this is, what was your name again?
Jay.
Jay. So this is Jay's Subaru. And he's kind of walking us through this thing. Can you tell me a little bit about it, Jay?
It has basically the 2.5 RS effects, hood, bumper, skirts, wings. It's a completely stock 2.2, million miles, 223,000. It has just generic stuff, short shifter.
Oh, it's a Saab, I see.
Yeah. That's actually the wheel from a 2008 or so Legacy GT.
Okay.
With the airbag from a Saab 92X. Subaru.
Yeah, this is sick. I'm so glad that we ran into you guys because this is literally my first experience diving into the Subaru world, and I couldn't be happier to meet cooler people. But yeah, this thing is cool. So essentially the same engine as mine, right? Just kind of like a minor difference in the head?
Yeah, minor differences, some more sensors, some more odd stuff like that. The blocks themselves, the short blocks are interchangeable, but beyond that, it's way different.
Oh, awesome, awesome. And this is the reason we came, right here. So, as you saw in the first video title, we are probably going to rally the absolute heck out of this thing. And we needed some wheels, because I don't want to ruin the ones that are on there. But we'll have to see what happens. Alright guys, we got our wheels. We're on our way back. So far this thing's been running like clockwork. No knocking or anything, so I think we'll probably be okay. But if anything happens, I'll document it. And just like that, it is a new day. So the Subaru made it back with no problems whatsoever, and even more exciting, the oil looks incredible. So what are we gonna do today? Let's flush the oil system one last time. We'll let it run with some seafoam for about 10-15 minutes, suspend any debris that might still be in there. We'll change the oil and filter, and we'll crack open our old filter, see how bad the damage was before we caught it. I feel like you guys have seen me do this 100 times at this point. But let's go ahead and flush that oil. One thing I like about these engines so far is that you can change the oil filter and oil at the same time. It all drops in the same place. Ooh, it's hot. Just cut the oil filter open. We're going to do some of this part together. Obviously there'll be a little bit of metal shavings in there just because we use my grinder. There's definitely some flakage in there. But that's actually not bad compared to what I thought it was going to be. These are just fine flakes, nothing tremendous. So I reckon I may have caught it in time. 6 seconds. Yeah, there's definitely some in there. Little flakes. But I'm not seeing a large amount of bearing material or whatever it was that decided to start letting go. But I think we're going to call that a success. Now I have a confession to make. The original oil that we found in this car, we changed. And I left the filter on originally, but then changed the filter and added sea foam. And that is the oil that we found had the metal flakes in it. Now, when I changed the oil, I added Lucas additive and I also added sea foam to the oil. And then off camera, I decided, I was so happy we got it running, that I took it out and thrashed on it a little bit without you guys. I know, I'm sorry. But because of the sea foam being in the oil and it thinning it and maybe reducing its oily properties, there's a possibility that it may have been partly my fault. But anyway, let's not point fingers. It's fixed now. Honestly, we have some new oil in there. I think we're going to be okay. And the oil that we just drained out of there, perfect. So it only means one thing, though. We're going to have to properly test this thing. And to see that, you're going to have to tune in next time. There's one more thing. I really would like to get into another shop. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is if you like, comment, and subscribe on this video. So we can do this together. And I can bring you more content of me dragging derelict, cheap cars home and seeing if we can fix them and then thrashing on them. So anyway, thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.